What is happening, brother?
Well, what's going on, my brother? What is happening? Everything's happening. I've been very busy. I feel pretty bad for my dad because, as you know, he's been staying with me.
Yeah,
This is his second week, and I think that I've only seen him maybe about an hour a day. So
yeah,
yeah, but he's good, man. He always enjoys staying with us and doing his thing. He's helped out a lot. He
yeah,
makes excellent food. So forget any diet that I'm trying for
yeah.
sure.
Of course. Hey, tell me about the tree that he cut down. Or I remember a text, and then you were impressed by I mean,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. So I have palm trees. I have a total of let's see, six palm trees. I have three in the front, three in the back, and so I'm not good at pruning the palm trees. I'm just it's not my thing. And so he always does me the favor, and those things after a few it gets pretty heavy. So
right.
we loaded the back of my truck with all that stuff and leaves and trash and all this kind of stuff, and then we took it to the landfill. And in the landfill, you back up your truck right to one of the cases, one of the holding containers, and so this guy jumps up my dad jumps up to the truck, right, and
Yeah,
then he starts pushing everything with his legs, bends down, moves it, forwards it, while I'm still trying to get in the truck, right?
right.
So I just, the text that I sent you was that, it's for me, it's just a privilege to have a dad in his 70s to
Yeah,
still be able to move the way he does. I mean, every morning we go out jogging and we go out and do stuff, and he's up at 6 in the morning, goes to bed. I mean, the guy's a powerhouse, man. It's awesome.
yeah. It's kind of like that golf story of a long time ago, where you and I would be hacking at balls in the fairway, and he'd
Hmm.
come and do his little like he played baseball, come and do his little hit right over second base and just kind of cruise into
Hmm.
on base. So I love that part about him because he just
Yeah.
he never loses his youth and
Yeah. No, and,
just
and and you're absolutely right. He makes me feel younger, right?
yeah,
As I see him doing his thing and going up and down. I mean, I've been very busy with work, but he reminds me, hey, we gotta go jog tomorrow morning. Hey, we gotta do this. Hey, we gotta do that. And so he understands, and just very very proud to have the dad that I have.
yeah.
Hey man, so just really quick, I know we have somebody very exciting today, but before we get started, so on our Monday morning quarterback,
Yeah.
for those of you that don't know what I call it, a spin-off from our podcast. So we try to
Right.
do these on Monday mornings, just 10-15 minutes, to have one of our, what would you call them? One of our business partners, one of
I'm
our.
gonna say business partners for now.
Mhm.
Just people that have agreed to give us that time to expose their business, whatever it is.
Absolutely. So I had the honor to have one of my business partners 2 months, so not this Monday, but last Monday, and she is a Sensi representative,
Hmm.
and she's been a great one. I partnered up with her about 3 years ago, and she's the one that helps me get my clients gifts when we close on houses.
Right.
And we decided that we were gonna have her on the show and also raffle off a basket.
Okay.
Uh, so let me show you real quick here.
And so this
So
was
if you guys can see, this is the basket that we use to give our clients, right? We made this one so that we could raffle it off, and we're gonna do that right now.
how many entries did you get, by the way?
So we had a total of 15 entries. So the way you would get an entry is if you watch that Monday morning quarterback show. If you shared the video, then you would get an entry. Simple as that.
Okay.
So I have my entries here in this little cup. Sorry about the styrofoam cup. Been so busy, I didn't get anything fancy.
All
But
right, it'll work.
without looking, we got all the entries in here, and we'll get one. Let's see here. All right, and the winner is Nancy Rios, and actually she is
She lives.
from.
She lives
Yeah,
here
yeah. Oh, where?
in Arlington.
Oh, she
If,
does.
it, if it's the one I'm thinking of, she does. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I was gonna say I also know a Nancy Rios.
Oh,
So
okay. Well,
I know there wasn't two Nancy Rios. So
we'll have to figure it out then.
we'll have to figure it out. But Nancy Rios, congratulations. If you're in Arlington, we'll get it delivered, and if you're in El Paso, then I'll just take it to you here. But awesome, that's congratulations. And again, if anybody in the show wants to be part of this Monday morning quarterbacks, let us know.
Yeah, we do have some people that are interested. We just need to do our thing. But
Awesome.
hey, let's get into it because we have music tonight. And just as an introduction, well, before we get into that, we have a great guest tonight. And so with that, my name is Javier, and we are Problems.
And my name is Jorge in Opportunities. So, really quick to tell you guys about Problems and Opportunities podcast. So, my brother and I decided to start the show back in the beginning of 2020 when the pandemic hit. And it's just, we felt like we wanted a segment out here to reach out to our communities and to our viewers to talk about exactly that, right? How to transition a problem into an opportunity. A while back, somebody told us that, not every problem has to stay a problem. We can figure out ways to turn them and transition them to opportunities. So we found out that with every guest, we always get a little golden nugget or two to hopefully help somebody out there to realize, hey man, it's not as hard as you think. We always enjoy our podcast and our guest, and it's no different today. So with that, I'll let my brother introduce the guest.
I'm gonna use because it is music, and hopefully with his permission, I'm gonna use when I found out that he was doing this. This is one of the first songs that I heard, and this is directly from his YouTube channel. Which let me know how that audio is, but
It's good. It's good.
um, so I'm scrolling he's got his own YouTube channel where all of his music is. And man, I thought as soon as I listened to this, the beat, the sound, it was just really really good. Even our producer extraordinary, right, who's also a musician, was really impressed as soon as he heard it. Um, so a little background: we met the Paredes family. I looked it up. It was 2012. Um, and the reason we met them is my daughter, my youngest, decided to play soccer, and they just happened to be in the same soccer team. And I'm never gonna forget the first time like we really met because I was wearing a UTEP, bright orange UTEP pullover, and I kind of didn't know how to kick, block, nothing, and she's gonna get mad at me for saying that, but in those early days, she just didn't know it. I mean, we never played soccer, so we were out there on the corner. I was really trying to get her to at least make contact with the ball, and here comes Aaron's dad. And the connection started from there. But so Aaron Paredes that we're talking with tonight is his son. Again, met him about 8 years ago, and I know that he is a graduate of Seguin High School. I didn't get a lot of other details, but one of the things that was amazing is when we started hanging out together. Aaron was just quiet back in the corner somewhere, just not doing anything. But hey, man, how are you, Aaron Paredes? Welcome to the show tonight.
Aaron,
Hi.
welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me. Yeah,
Hey,
I remember those times.
we were surprised in a good way, because we remember first beginning with me. We can get kind of crazy at parties, and I you just you're always very quiet, always in the back, and that sort of thing. And then one day, he's releasing his first album. So, welcome to the show, Aaron. You also go by AWOL. I wanted to ask about that first. Tell me how you picked that name.
Um, well, when I first started making music, I had I was trying to be like a DJ. This is even during the time that you're talking about, but I just didn't really like show it or promote it or anywhere. So I had a different name, and it was like a DJ name. But after a while, it had nothing. It didn't really mean anything to me, that name. It was just like Rosso Bird or something like that. But
Yeah.
after a while, I felt like I was gonna make different music, so I wanted a different name. And uh, I don't know if my dad was the first one to make that username or where, but I thought that was a cool like acronym for my whole name. So I might have stole it. I don't remember, but
Yeah. Well, I told you I had a little inside joke, and it's more a joke on me than you all. Your dad's Twitter handle is, and I'm looking it up right now. I believe it is. Uh, I'm sorry. Anyway, I think it is also AWOL. But
Yeah, probably.
here's the thing: for those of you who are listening who may not speak, um, both English and Spanish, Paredes is literally translated means wall.
It
Yeah,
means wall, yes.
yeah,
And so it didn't occur to me for years, literally. I think I even told your dad, and he was cracking up, laughing at me. It didn't occur to me that that's probably why he chose that name. But so there's your story. It's really a joke on me that the simpler something is, the more my mind likes to complicate it. It
yeah,
can't just be what it is.
yeah.
So Aaron, take us back. When when did this start for you? When did you realize? When did you know? You know, introduce how this all happened for you.
All right. Yeah. So like I said, I've always liked music or like making music. I started in middle school. I was trying to be a DJ at that time because my aunts in El Paso they had introduced me to that sort of music, and I started like making beats on my laptop that I had at the time. But around high school, I wanted to actually record myself, my vocals and stuff. So that's when I started experimenting with that sort of thing. I went to studios and paid like $60 for 1 hour,
Wow.
and try to like fit an entire song in that hour because
Mm-hmm.
I was still in high school at that time. I don't have a lot of money,
Yep.
so that's what I would do, and like I would put those songs out on like uh for people to listen. My
Mm-hmm.
high school friends, they would be like,
Right.
"Whoa, this is crazy! I was bad at that time, but
Yeah.
it wasn't until after like when I was getting ready to graduate high school, I was like, okay, let me put my mind to it and like really come out with like a full project of mine, like an album.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened. I ended up putting out an album, and that was like my way. My I wanted to stop making music after that. Oh, that was like my okay, I'm done. I've done it for this long, and it's a cool hobby, but you know, I have to like get ready for life at that time. I'm
Our
about to
life.
graduate.
Yeah.
And that was gonna be the end of it. But after I put that out, I had a little release party in the backyard of my house
Yeah.
with my family and my close friends, and we had a good time. And it wasn't that many people, but that it was just a special moment, and it felt like a final ending for that
Mm-hmm.
hobby that I had. And then uh, after maybe a couple weeks to a month, I got a notification that because I had put this is the first project or songs of mine that I had put on streaming services like paid ones like Spotify, Apple Music,
Mm-hmm.
iTunes, all that. And I got a notification from Spotify saying that they had put me in a playlist for new music, new artists,
Right.
which is like crazy because it's not easy to get on those playlists. Like even now, I haven't had any luck getting back on those playlists, but to get on it once, it like boosts your streams immensely because a lot of people follow those playlists just to see like what's new music I can listen to, what there's something like that I can just find out of the blue, and that
So,
boosted my
so Aaron,
streams.
sorry to interrupt you real quick. What exactly gets you into those playlists?
Back then, nowadays, it's back then it was just luck, like, or someone working at Spotify had to like just stumble upon your music and had to just say, "Wow, this is good," and then put it in a playlist. But
Ah,
nowadays, they have it. They've been working on trying to make it more friendlier to new artists. So nowadays, right before the song comes out, you can like write a pitch to them, and they'll read it and hopefully pick up your song and put it in a playlist. But back then, it was just that's what was crazy to me. Like I did not expect that to happen at all, and then because of that, I started getting messages from people everywhere across the world that like they listen to my stuff, and
Wow.
I felt like there's that's when I realized like maybe I shouldn't stop. Maybe I should just keep going,
Right.
and that's kind of how I got to where I am right now.
So I'm looking at your YouTube channel, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I see, let's see, one, two, three, four. Uh, is it about five or six albums now, records, or some of these are probably singles?
Yeah, a lot of them are singles. I have two albums out that are
Hmm.
just me, and then the most recent project I did that I released last year, which was an album, was a collaboration with a group of people that I met around here in Dallas. They're a rap group called Chroma, and
Hmm.
when I first met them, just through like the music scene around here, I fell in love with their music, so I wanted to work with them, and that's we came up with that project called Primavera,
Okay.
and that one came out last year.
Now, you talked about how it kind of happened. You know, uh, did you have any training, any practice? I mean, how does Aaron, just one day? I mean, I know you said you went to that one studio first, but did you have any? Is it just natural gift for you?
Um, I think I was just really curious on figuring out how everything worked. Because when I went to the studio, I would look at because it wouldn't just be you by yourself. Like,
Right.
they'd have someone in there with you. Like, oh, I'm gonna start recording you here. I'm gonna like put this effect on you. I'm gonna do this and that. And I would like sit there and watch him and ask him like, what is he doing, so that I could like learn from him.
Uh
And
huh.
then eventually, I started like looking up videos. How do I start doing this by myself?
Yeah.
And I bought my own kit, s- kit that I have that I still use today. And this was like years ago when I first started recording myself. It's the same kit, so it's like a hundred, not even 100, like an $80 mic, and then
Right.
a interface to record me, and my laptop. That was all I had,
Yeah.
and I would just record music from this room.
So, and I kind of did the same thing. I mean, got this giant microphone in front of me, but it was actually a gift from
Hmm.
my daughters. But I spent a lot of time. I mean, I even know what a dynamic microphone is and a
Hmm.
condenser and all this fun stuff.
Yeah, we learned all
Um,
that.
and you're doing that, but and then you're adding the music and the beat. So all of your music is coming. Do you create the music? I mean, electronically, or how does that work?
What first started when I first started making music, I would make the beats and everything myself. But when I started to record myself, I think I just fell more in love with like writing because I had that. I never really like did that before, and so now what I usually do is I'll find because I met a lot of people through making music and around here, like and doing like small shows and stuff around here. I'll reach out to people who would wanna like work on a song, and they'll help me with a beat, and then I usually spend the most time recording because that's recording and mixing my vocals, and writing is like more is a lot more fun to me. So that's kind of my how my process is right now. But yeah, back then I would definitely make my own beats, especially because I wasn't recording myself back then, so I had to make everything from my laptop just on a computer software that I got for free back then.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I love that you love the writing part because a lot of people they listen to the music or watch the movie, read whatever it is, and sometimes the lyrics escape you. So I love that you love that part.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point, Aaron. I was gonna ask you what would you say on average? How many hours a day do you spend in music?
It's usually really really late at night when nobody's awake in the house, and sometimes they say they
Yeah.
still hear me, but like I'll spend like a good like 3 hours a day, 3 4 hours a day, just on one. Probably not even finishing the song, just like one small section of the song, like trying to come up with a melody, come up with or like write something. Because I'll scratch a lot of stuff and be like, "No, this is not good," and then wake up the next day and listen to it, see how it sounded whenever I have fresh ears. Because yeah, I'll stay up pretty late trying to work on stuff. Because I don't really want the rest of my family to hear it.
The reason why I started laughing is because as we were talking off air, so my son, we'll talk a little bit about that right now. But my son also, he does music, and you're exactly right. We will hear his guitar and singing at about 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not that late, maybe about 11 or 12. But I hear exactly what you're saying. I want to tell you real quick that we actually have some shout outs to you right now in the live feed. So my sister-in-law saying that she loves Mr. Verano. And then Laura Paredes
That's his
says,
mom.
okay, your mom, prom night for her. Minerva Soto, who's actually my wife, is saying that you're very fortunate, through your experience so far with music, that the things that you've been able to accomplish and done. So kudos to you. Um, oh, and then your mom is now saying that you actually practice from you do music from 9 to 6 a.m.
Yeah, whatever.
So that's so sorry, yeah. So my son, he's also big time into music. So if you walk into his bedroom, his room where he does his music, there's more guitars and music equipment than anything else. And
That's
so
that's
so
that's that's. I was sorry, but that's like a
it's okay.
lot better. Like learning to
Yeah.
actually play the instruments. I wish I would have did that, but
Yeah, he's got a few guitars, acoustic, a ukulele, an organ. Now he's learning how to play the saxophone. He's got a few things going, and then most recently he's been practicing his vocals, which, which anybody can karaoke, but once you start getting serious about singing, it's a different place. My question to you, Aaron, is I saw my son grow into music. Where his passion came from. We actually had him in this podcast a few months ago talking about it. But where was your passion from? More specifically, where did your inspiration come from? Tell us a little bit, like more personal, like about music.
all right. So I think um my 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 passion for music itself really stemmed from the seeing performers at concerts and stuff, because I don't know, something about that, like just like
Hmm.
wow, like all these people came out to see this person perform and they have like all these lights and everything. So I
Hmm.
fell in love with that, because that's what got me started into like making wanting to be a DJ too, because my aunts would take me to like these little DJ shows in El
Yeah.
Paso, and I thought like that was just amazing, like just being able to literally control like the crowd, like
Right.
with whatever you're playing. When I started making music, I had been listening to other genres too, which like was more like rap, more um, alternative, more. Because back then I only listened to dance music, DJ music, EDM music, and then when I got to high school, I started really listening to more music. And so when I got to recording, some of my favorite artists that would inspire me were artists that are like that make like rap music, indie music. A big one for me right now is Frank Ocean. He's one of my biggest inspirations.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
Tyler the Creator is a huge inspiration. I love his music. I love his work. Um, even Kanye West. Like if you go back and look at his videos of him performing
Hmm.
back
Hmm.
then at his shows, like I thought like that was just amazing. The shows that he would put on. So just like being able to throw a show was like what I always wanted from
Yeah.
music.
Be there in that live performance, man. I totally get that because
Hmm.
I'm not in the music world, but I will stay up to 1 in the morning watching replays of broadcasts,
Yeah.
and nobody in their right mind is going to do that with me at all. So I always have a headset, but I'm literally replaying and replaying and replaying, and my own and others and famous broadcasters, and then of course when I get here I forget everything, but I totally get the part um, about how these people, the great ones, they just have that audience, like in the palm of their hand, right? They move them any way they want to. Uh, Aaron Bon Jovi made a great documentary a while back, and one of the things he said on there is most of the music that we all know of him is not the favorite. It's not his favorite music. It's not what he likes to play. Do you have that difference, like the stuff that you record and that we hear, and then stuff that you maybe never play because it's yours, and you probably, because that's what he said. He said, the stuff that I like, nobody would like.
Uh, yeah, I would say that too. Uh, my most popular song right now is Loverboy. It's about to hit 3 million plays, which is
Wow.
insane on
Hmm.
Spotify. But yeah, like I like making a lot different music than what like my most popular song is. And I think with the project I'm working on right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and move in the direction that like I think what I would like
Yeah.
more than what probably everybody would want me to make again.
Let me play a sample of that Loverboy if it's okay with you.
Yeah, you
And
can go
I'm
ahead.
and I'm I'm scrolling your YouTube channel again for people who are interested in going there. Got to get rid of the ads first. You got 3 million. You're gonna have a few ads.
Yeah.
So my ears, what I hear is usually a lot lower. Let me know that volume's okay.
No, that's good. That's good. This is my sister-in-law's favorite, so it must be good.
Yeah, and Mr. Verano, I think won the votes. My wife, Idalia, and her sister, and others I see on there. We'll play that later, maybe when we can. So this song, when did you release this?
Um, this song was before it was a lead single to my second project, and I remember I made it and then I showed my girlfriend it because I usually show her everything before like she's like the first test kind of,
Yeah,
and then
she's
I
your yeah, she's your test group.
yeah I tested and then I saw her reaction and I thought like okay this might be good, and then there was a show that I had planned a couple weeks later and I was like I'll test it at the show, and I said oh here's a new song, and the crowd just loved it, so I was like okay yeah this one should be the lead single and I'll go ahead and release it.
Okay.
And that's I made it yeah right before the second album. I put it out and it's just been doing crazy ever since.
That's good.
I
That's
already
great.
I already love it, actually.
Thank you.
I do understand now what you mean, Aaron, by you commenting that you listen to music, a lot of music, different genres, try to get inspiration from different musicians, shows, things like that. Because like I said, I also see it in my son, and you guys, you don't listen to music the way we outside musicians crowd listen to music. What I mean by that is we listen to it for enjoyment reasons, right?
Yeah.
But you guys, because I see it in my son, I mean, he sometimes plays music for me that I didn't even know existed, right? Or the artist existed, and when he's listening to it, he can hear the different sounds, different instruments, different. I mean, it's just amazing. I think it has a lot of degrees of difficulty when it comes to putting an ear to music, but I do want to commend you and for all that I'm listening to, and man, it's I know it's difficult. I know it's not an easy gig.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
and that's exactly right. People who love whatever it is, music or even sports, they don't watch it like anybody else. They're watching for other stuff. They're watching for the details. So not only the work you put into it, but all the research. 'Cause people don't get how for something like what you're doing, what any musician can, to put something out there that's people are going to like. You can show your girlfriend first, and then you see her reaction. Oh yeah, this is going to work.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, I would say I came along because I would. There's stuff that I would put out and people didn't like, so I would say like it takes you kind of just have to just do it like and learn from what everybody else thinks, but also stay true to like what you want to make, because like there's gonna be people that don't like it, and even now I still get people that tell me they don't like it, which is fine. I don't have no problem with people like
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
Hmm.
but yeah, I would just say for like your son, like to just keep doing it. Like you never know what could happen. I never thought that I would be getting messages from people like across the country saying that they like the song Loverboy. Like I think that just blows my mind, and it just shows you like the day and age that we live in with social media and technology and everything.
Yeah, actually, Aaron, you just reminded me of something. So on New Year's Eve, do you know who Ignorant Benches is?
No, no, I don't.
Oh, okay, so he's a band that my son listens to, and on New Year's Eve, he started talking to the main guy over Instagram, and he connected with him, and he sent him a record, like autograph, record over. We got it. I mean, it's one of the best things that he's ever received. So I know the feeling when you start getting noticed out there. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, Aaron. So, how many since you started? About how many shows you think you've done live or maybe virtually? Tell us a little bit about how well your music's reaching people, streaming. I mean, don't tell us you make $5 million, but but give us a little sense of what that's like. I think we is
He might have.
I think it's
So
Are you
frozen.
there?
like still first
Yeah.
doing my first.
Yeah, he's freezing a little bit in and out. We'll give him a little minute.
Well, in the meantime, let's play Verano, which is what everybody really liked. This was the first one that I heard. He talked about having that release party at his parents' house.
Yes.
We were probably invited and we missed it, but we saw it. We saw the pictures and they did some live Facebook Live and stuff like that. And that's when I said, "Wait a minute, Aaron, Aaron doesn't. He hardly talks at parties, but
Yeah.
he's younger and all that. And then all of a sudden, there he is.
Well, just like my son, right? Like he gets he seems very very shy and not, but you break out some tunes. Man, it's great,
Yeah,
great music.
yeah. And so that's from Don Julio. Uh, that's his mom, Laura. That's the one that everybody and there's others. I'm sure that I always think it's interesting that most musicians have songs that they play for themselves, and I think that's when I also think it's cool that you want to do this where it's still fun.
Yeah.
Um, you don't want to do this with the pressure of it feeling like a responsibility. I mean, this is why we do this podcast. You know,
Right.
certainly, I think he's coming back. Certainly, we want it to be meaningful, but so yeah, there he is.
Sorry, yeah, I don't know what
Nah,
happened.
you're
I think
fine.
the
No,
internet
you're
went out
fine.
or
No
something.
worries. Hey,
It
so
happens. That's fine.
we were just asking you, how many live shows you've done, sort of, kind of give us a sense of, you know, how well your music's done as far as like distributing it and shows and things like that.
Yeah, I think what was I saying? Oh, I was saying like with the shows, like I remember you were saying that you were like un- didn't expect for me to make music because like I was shy or whatever. But I was trying to say that I still am a shy person. So like my first couple of shows, yeah, I was like super nervous. I didn't really do that many shows that I would say a lot of people that I met around here have
Mm-hmm.
done. Just because I like people would ask me to do shows around here, and I would just be like, maybe the next one or something, and I wouldn't really do it. So I did maybe a handful.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've probably done 10 shows because I only started getting confidence after my second album
Mm-hmm.
when I threw my own show. So that was the first time I threw a show, for, like a release party for a project, and that was a lot of fun. So um, after that, I started working on the project I made last year with the group Chroma,
Mm-hmm.
and then after we released that, we did a live show with them, and they really after, like I fell in love with them because I saw them live, and I really loved how they performed, and they taught me a lot just by looking at them how they perform. And when we did our virtual show for that album, uh, I think I gained a lot of confidence for my performances. But as far as like music, how my music has been doing, that's all been just been from social media and Spotify, like
Mm-hmm.
continuing to like push my stuff. Um, it went so yeah. Loverboy has like 3 million plays, and
Wow.
it was been out. It's been out for I think this is its second year out.
Yeah,
So to go
yeah,
from just somebody in middle school like making beats on my computer, like yeah,
yeah.
it's come a long way. And
Absolutely, absolutely. I speaking of shows, I happen to see that you all posted. You've got one coming up. Tell us about the March 11th.
yeah,
And I'm gonna scroll that one as well, where people can get tickets.
yeah, that one's another free live show that I'm doing on March 11th. Um, it's a festival, so there's other artists on it that you can tune in and watch. One of them is the group of artists that I collabed on an album with last year. And yeah, we we did so there's a set of me and them, there's a set of them, and then there's a set of me, and then there's some other artists that you can like tune in and watch and see if you like their music. But that's what I really like about these live shows, because it gives you like still a way to like perform even during this like times of COVID and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
and
awesome. That's very awesome.
yeah. Real quick, one of the things that's really difficult about not being able to go anywhere, so to speak, is that we feed off of each other. Whatever we're doing, whether it's just a conversation or you performing from the stage or whatever it is we're doing, I mean, we're feeding off of all these comments that we're getting just for you. So it's really really important. Your mom was made of. I thought she said Don Julio the tequila, but she means Don Julio, your song that's used for a commercial. What? Tell us
Oh
a little
yeah.
bit about that. I was looking for it on your channel, but I don't know if it's there.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was all about. I was about to take it like a tequila shot. I was like, what's going on?
So yeah, through meeting people around here, networking and stuff, going to these small shows, doing small shows, I've met a lot of people, and I've met a person that was interested in being a manager for me, and he's the one that actually helped me get that deal.
Hmm.
So what it is basically, yeah, they used that song Mr. Verano for a 30-second commercial, and they paid me for it. But
Nice.
like the way that we got like word of it is like it was a company that searches for music to use for like projects from the big, like we weren't talking to Don Julio specifically. We were
Hmm.
talking to a company that's their job basically.
Right.
And my manager had submitted like all my music to this company. So when they told us, "Oh, we have a tequila company interested in using a song," we
Wow.
were like, "Oh, okay. Like what song and what company?" And they're like, "Oh, Don Julio wants to use your song, Mr. Verano." We were like, "What? Okay."
What? Wow. Man,
Yeah,
that must have been awesome.
yeah. It was awesome. It was a crazy feeling. My manager, he's like, they're gonna use Mr. Verano for a 30-second commercial. Like, I'm like, all right, sign it. Word, we
Let's
sign.
go. Let's
That's
go.
awesome.
And and,
Don't
and,
think about it.
and I'm not a tequila drinker, but Don Julio is not just a tequila. It is
Nope.
one of the preferred choices. So
That's right. That's absolutely right. Aaron, I know. I mean, it goes without saying that the music industry is tough, right? It's a tough industry to get into, and in the spirit of this podcast, I mean, there's just probably we spent a whole hour talking about problems, right? That you've encountered, whether it's trying to do your music, trying to elevate, your music to the public, etc. Talk to us about, what would you consider has been your main problem, and how have you looked at it as an opportunity?
uh, I think my main thing that I struggled with, or I still struggle with, is just kind of like not even like being afraid to give 100% of like my effort, like being afraid to like fully believe in like myself to that this might be something that can develop to something greater or something like uh I think a lot of people get scared uh with making a commitment to something such as music, because it's like you look at music and you're like, you're not gonna make anything in that. But I think it's more than that for me. I think it's just it became a passion for me, and I wasn't really in it for the money in the beginning. I'm still not in it for the money. I'm not making like, even with that 3 million plays on Loverboy, Spotify gives you like a fraction of a penny per play. So I don't know. You can
Sure.
do the math on that.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, uh, it's just continue to push no matter. That's the main problem. Like being able to continue to push no matter like the people that say you can't do it, people that say you're not gonna be able to do anything with it, people
Mhm.
who don't like your music. Like, just do it because you like it, because you have the passion for it. That's 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 just been my personal struggles. I'm sure a lot of people who start out have that same struggle, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, you should see our first episode. Actually, for that matter, uh, 2 episodes ago,
2 episodes ago. Yeah.
we had a serious sound, and I'm a sound snob. Okay, I like good sound, and so it fell apart on us, and we felt bad for the guests. But I'm gonna give you some advice as an old 48-year-old man. Somebody told me once that, and this takes a while to really understand, but somebody said, a lion doesn't need to tell anyone he's a lion. And what does that mean? Well, you see a lion, it could tear you apart in a second. You also know it doesn't really have any, predators itself, as it's so powerful. The point is, the lion doesn't need to go telling everybody what he is or what he does. The fact that you can remain yourself to your music, and that it's been found by Julio, by 3 million people, just keep doing exactly that. It'll be what it is. I can guarantee you that.
That's absolutely true. I mean, I think that's very good. That's very good advice, Mister 40-year-old man. um, Aaron, I love what you just said about passion and not doing things for the money. I think that if you have that mentality and that attitude, the money will eventually come, right?
yeah,
I think that the things that we do in life, whether it's work, whether it's this, a podcast, whether it's your music, whatever it may be, you got to do it. You got to find passion in it, right? A lot of people say that if you're working too hard and it's frustrating you, then there's an issue. You gotta challenge yourself to change your attitude. To kind of crystallize, my brother and I always like to crystallize at the end of our shows, Aaron. I know you already mentioned about keep pushing yourself. Don't be fearful about what people say or what your own emotions are telling you. But what is one thing you want to tell our viewers tonight about your music and moving forward?
just like about me or what I
Yes,
want.
yeah, absolutely. What?
Yeah,
Yes.
what would you say for someone who wants to do something new that they think like you that maybe they can't do it, stuff like that? What one thing would you say?
Um, you're gonna get there. Like, I fully believe in like working, like in this day and age where someone is gonna see it, and
that's
so
that's for
like
sure.
just keep doing it, man. Like, you're gonna get better. If you think you're bad, you're gonna get better. If you really love what you're doing, you're gonna get better, and someone is gonna notice, and someone is gonna see like this person is like putting in the work. So let me put in some work and help them even better. So like I would just say, if you really have a passion for music, for anything that you might be too scared to try or do, I would just say just do it, man. Like, I don't. There's nothing really to
Yeah,
stop you anymore
Yeah.
right,
besides yourself.
right, exactly. Our fear ourselves, our own head space is what it's really. In my case, for sure, our own worst enemy.
Yep.
It's not it's not necessarily the people around you, because they will find you. They will do it. I mean, we started out with a small group, and now we've got close to 500 in this group. And
Exactly.
you
See.
start growing, you start expanding. Um, Aaron, we want to really thank you for spending time with us. We've been scrolling your banners. We're scrolling your website right now. I'm assuming from there they can go to all your socials. Maybe you have some merch on there and stuff like that. We don't really buy CDs anymore.
Yeah.
I
What's a CD? CD.
right. I mean, even the new cars don't have any. It's all streaming. So, but again, thank you, man, for giving us your time and letting us introduce your music to people. You're gonna have some more. I promise you're gonna have some more streaming. So thank you, because time is the most precious thing we have. So thank you again.
Exactly.
Aaron,
Thank you.
I do want to tell you that you also did very well for us on the show. It was very exciting. I think you're very close in breaking the record on live viewership in Facebook. I didn't want to tell you that earlier because I was going to make you nervous, but we did have a ton of live viewers today. So thank you for being with us, and to all our viewers tonight, thank you for spending some time with us. As always, we always love being here with you guys, and for my brother, I know he's going to play some music for Aaron to end the show. But brother, you got anything else?
No, I was just gonna say the Paredes family is always they always have each other's back.
That's
That's
awesome.
always been evident since we met him back in that first soccer game, and I was wearing that the horrible YouTube. Well, it's not horrible. It's just real bright, and I can still see his dad running to me just because this is another guy from El Paso, and it became a really cool friendship. Lots of memories, lots of adventures together. So that's it, man. So for my brother, all of you, this is Problems.
And for my brother, and opportunities. Thank you, everybody.
You in so long, yeah. Hey summer, how you been? I try to call, but you don't answer your phone, yeah. Tell me what's wrong, yeah. I need